dude.
Ooh, went live quick tonight.
I know, right? I was like, I'm like, wait, I'm getting my notes up. All right, guys, welcome to episode 121 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Tonight's show is a banger. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be awesome. Get ready, sit down, get comfortable. We have Drag and Drive event updates. There's been some new events added. There's also some events that are postponed, so this is important. And we have Matt Frost of Rocky Mountain Race Weekend. He's going to be on tonight talking about this coming up event and the 2026 Rocky Mountain event. Plus, we have Tommy and Jim from Summit Racing on to talk about all things drag and drive and the Summit truck and building an S10 and taking a vacation, doing drag. I mean, it's going to be awesome. Mr. Eric White, hit the intro. Let's do this.
All right, let's do it.
Dude, you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, man. This is awesome. I do want to apologize first off. The lighting in this hotel room is trash. But y'all didn't come here to see my beautiful face. Anyways, I'm the host, Mike Narks, host this and the Drag Driver Pete News, which happens on Saturday mornings. And my right-hand man, Mr. Eric White, right here. Tell him what you got going on, dude.
I am Eric White, co-host of both the show and the news. Lately, I have been busting my butt to get caught up on all these dang photos I've taken this year. Just dropped day 2, part 1 of the Havlicks about 30 minutes ago. I do have all of day 2 edited, so we'll be dropping those. Every day will be a new part, and currently working through day 3, which I've already got a little bit of start on. So we're making progress. Pixie Set site is still going, but slowly. So for those that know, if you guys are going to buy a photo from me, I want that photo to be perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So the ones that go on Facebook, they get some editing. They go right on Facebook. The Pixie Set ones, I'm spending a little more time on because those ones you just download from the website directly to you. So when you get those, I want those to be perfect. So hang with me. It is going to take a little bit longer to get the Pixie Set ones up, but they will be coming as well. Once Havlicks is done, I will finally be starting on the circuit photos now that Sick the Mag has already dropped their magazine with our article in it too. So perfect timing for that. I will be getting on those. And then finally, we'll be back to Sick Summer. Hopefully I'll get those done before Sick Week 2026 kicks off.
Dude, it's been crazy. I'll tell you, that's what you and I were talking about before the show, was just the amount of videos I've taken. Like, my camera's sitting right here next to me. I mean, I'm tens of thousands of videos for the year, and I don't even know where to even start on them and stuff like that. So, well, y'all listen, let's kick this thing off. Do us a favor before we do this, though. Hit that share button. Let everybody know you're watching this tonight. And y'all, we can't do this without you. You know, the Race Car Friends family here is it's awesome. I'll just tell you, coming across everywhere. Got Jay Wire Solutions here. Jay Blanchard asking, am I in Michigan? I am in Michigan right now. I'm in Grand Rapids right now tonight. Doing this, going to be at US 131 this weekend. So if any of our race car friends are close, please come over, say hey, say what's up, see what we got going on. Going to be doing pro mod stuff, jet cars, funny car, nostalgia funny cars. Dude, this event is fun for me because it is the weather is going to be freaking gorgeous, like 60s for the highs, 40s for the lows. I'm in a hoodie for the first time in months, and brought my race car friend's hoodie up here. So, if we're going to be here, let's do it. And, we can't do this without you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And then thank you to our sponsors. They make all of this possible here. Summit Racing, who's going to be on later tonight. I mean, it's freaking awesome. I can't wait to have Tommy and Jim on. Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil. Those guys, man, they do so much for us here. Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, who's actually in the comments tonight. I want to say hey to Jay. AFCO Racing Products. Man, I'm still trying to get that worked out to where I'm good with it. Performer Belt Transmissions, who we're going to get to see on Drag Week here in the next couple of weeks. Car Change 3D, who I got to hang out with last time I was up here in Michigan for Heads Up Hustle. Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classified. Y'all, we can't do it without them. Please, if you're trying to do some shopping and looking for some parts, man, hit them up. If you need a contact at any of these places, please get with us. We'll get you with the person that we feel like could help you the most, and we'll go from there. I mean, we want to help you guys, and we want to help them as well. Summit Racing Speed Legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop. With 4 facilities and 200-plus catalog editions, they fuel your passion, save you money, deliver fast, and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. Find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, or on the On All Cylinders podcast for more automotive discussions. While I was in the air today, I listened to several of the On All Cylinders podcasts. From humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. And if you're looking for some speed, summitracing.com will get you there and get you all the stuff. And while you're over there, dude, for the first time maybe ever, neither one of us are wearing our Drag Driver Pete Summit branded merch, which you guys can pick up. There's big brim hats, there's hoodies, there's t-shirts, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be awesome. All right, sir, let's talk about some Drag Driver Pete updates.
Real quick, we've got Brandon here asking if we can drop links to our photo albums. Because I'm probably a tiny bit OCD, our photo albums are actually by event, by day on Facebook. So it would be hard to drop the albums. But if you go to the Drag Driver Pete Facebook page, across the top bar, there's a post about channel, mention, reviews, reels, more. If you click the more drop down, it'll take you to photos, and then you can go to albums, and then you can see all the albums again by event, by day. So they're broken up, into smaller albums.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's been one of the coolest things I feel like I've kind of worked through, because it makes it so much easier to find a photo. There's other places that don't do that, and I'm telling you, as you get to looking for stuff, man, it just becomes really hard because you're going through thousands and thousands and thousands of photos. All right, Drag Driver Pete updates, dude. Is everybody ready for this? I don't know if they are. The parking lot beers shirts mailed, what's today? Wednesday, mailed yesterday. Dropped them off at the post office. The guy gives me like a little carry thing, and I was like, nah, buddy, that ain't going to work. I got a whole bunch of these. So this is about half the order right here that was in there when I grabbed a picture real quick. So again, thank you so much to everybody that ordered that. Those are available on the website right now. We did order extra, obviously. We have T-shirts, and then I think I have 1 or 2 hoodies left, something like that. I think most of those are spoken for. And then those should go out. They'll go out next week, because I won't be back home until Sunday night. So those will go out next week. If you guys order something this week, just be prepared. A couple-day wait there. But thank you to everybody that ordered those. And one last piece of information that is important to the bundle order that everybody made. The Race Car Friends special decal, those didn't go in those packages. And I didn't realize it until after I got back home. So those are going to go out when I get home as well, but they're going to be in an envelope. So
there you go.
No, that's what happens when you are, short on time. Shirts came in. I was trying to pack them, get them all out before dude, I had like 4 hours in taping the labels on packet, like taping the labels and getting all that stuff ready and making, it's crazy. And I forgot those stupid stickers. The parking lot beers decals got in there because Steven was helping me, but I was supposed to put the Race Car Friends decals in later and missed it.
Dude, you need one of these label printers off of Amazon, man.
Dude, that's what I'm buying.
Like, man. 80
Yeah.
bucks or something on Amazon.
Yeah, we're at a point now to where we ship enough to where I could make something like that make sense. Before, when we were shipping 2 or 3 things a week, it didn't really make sense. But at the level we're at now, it's getting a lot better.
Yeah. Shout out to my coworker here, Skylar. He ordered one of these beer can shirts. We won't say that they were made after the PBR inspired shirt, but you know, parking lot beers for sure. So big shout out to
Definitely.
him for placing an order too.
Yep, yep. Appreciate that a bunch. And the folks in Canada, you guys got a deal. You got a deal. Shipping to Canada was $24.60 per
Oh,
package. They got it for free. So that's the way it goes. So shipping to Canada has been changed after this one here. All right, buddy. Tell us about what's going on right here.
yeah. So like I said, these are the Havlicks fastest streetcar shootout photos. Again, we are working our way through those. Again, this just before the show, I dropped day 2, part 1. So trying to keep it less than 100 photos. Just makes it a little bit easier for people to kind of scroll through, see their cars and everything like that. But when you see these, please, if you know a driver and they're not already tagged, tag them in the comments, let them know so they can see these photos, because man, some of these photos have been great. I don't get too crazy excited about my photos just because, it's hard to hype yourself up, but there was some of these in here that I sent you that I'm like, this one's going to be good.
Dude, you have a really good eye for that stuff. Plus, you have just your editing style is great. So great job on those, man. I can't wait.
Yep. So again, each day I will be releasing day 2. So I think we've got 4 more parts to day 2, and then we'll roll right into day 3 because I've already started editing them. So by the time I post all of day 2, we should be rolling right into day 3. So hopefully we can just keep this train rolling, and we'll keep releasing photos. And by the time that's done, you'll start seeing the circuit photos.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait, man. I'm ready for that. And speaking of Drag Drive Repeat updates, I guess we can probably say that too. The circuit is in the newest release of Sick the Magazine, issue 31. Am I crazy? Something like that.
I don't have mine yet, which is really tearing me apart because you sent me the pictures and I don't have it in my hand. For some reason, I feel like I get mine a little later. I'm going to say, they're going in alphabetical order, so I'm probably at the end of the list. But
I didn't think about that. I was thinking regionally they'd be getting those out.
yeah, I have no idea, but I don't have it yet, and it's killing me because I want to see it. There's some great photos in there. Obviously, you sent me the picture with the S10 on that centerfold there. That kind of story cover looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Super, super cool. And the Danny Odom picture hitting the water puddle is one of my absolute favorite pictures I have ever captured, ever. So love that made it in there. And obviously, super cool to see our event in there. This is the second year that we've got covered in Sick the Mag. So another article, a bunch of photos. Just I made a post and I said, it never gets old seeing your name printed in the magazine. And I will forever feel that way. It's just it's a super cool experience to open up that magazine, know that those are your photos, and see your name right in there. So
yeah, I'll tell you that's really cool because if you see it says both of our names there, that's kind of neat. I was trying to explain it to my kid, like, because she does, she's 15, she didn't get it. I was like, this magazine right here is going to be read by a ton of people, and in 50 years, this magazine is still going to be here. You know what I mean? Like, unless something crazy happens, this is still going to be here. And like, I'll talk about my grandkids all the time, but like, I don't have any, but one day, hopefully I will. And like, you start thinking like that kind of stuff. It's pretty neat, man.
yeah, so tons of great photos in here. Man, like that photo right there of Danny's car is, like I said, one of my absolute all-time favorite pictures. Yeah, Johnny. Stone Cipher here saying mug shot of me. Yep. They're doing the valve cover races. Yep. So when we provided photos, tried to obviously provide a sample of everything that we did. Obviously, we did so much. Even with the rain, we did a ton of stuff. So just tried to give them a little bit of all of that. So when somebody reads that article, you really get to see everything that went on that week. That almost feels like you were there.
Yeah. And Brian Andrews, 100%, this generation doesn't understand magazines, and they don't. I mean, they don't have to. There's no need for them to understand how cool a magazine is, because they didn't grow up that was how you got your information. That was how everybody got their stuff over time. So, well, that's pretty cool, man. Well, let's move into some Driven Racing Oil event updates, because there's good stuff in here too.
All right. Driven Racing Oil is the performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether you're launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or even pushing limits in top fuel drag boats and demo derbies. Winning racers choose GP1. It's compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines. GP1's unique surface cling and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for those flat tappet camshafts, while also solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. It's crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil, then enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages. GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. DrivenRacingOil.com is where you can go to pick up any oil or any of their other amazing products that they offer, or follow them on Facebook or Instagram at Driven Racing Oil. Find out what event they're going to be at near you, and you can stop by, see them, and probably purchase some products on site at an event.
Mm-hmm. That's probably what's going on with some of these events here, sir.
Yeah, so first one here, Roadrunner Rally. This one is being postponed to April 18th through 25th of 2026. The post said, due to some personal health issues, we are postponing the event. Please contact us if you have any questions regarding the spots that have been reserved. So unfortunately, this was an event that was going to be a first-time event this year for those guys, but it is being moved to April again of 2026.
Yeah, this is another week-long event run by Limpy and Patrick Garrett. I mean, this was one I'm excited about. West Texas Abilene, or West Texas Raceway Park or something like that, out there kind of making that loop out in the side. So it's going to be kind of awesome when it does happen, 2026. Yep. And then Drop the Hammer 2026 has just been announced. Big shout out to Carl Stansel. He sent me this earlier, just literally like 15 minutes before the show started. May 28th through 31st, Mid-Michigan Motorplex. That puts us up to 8 events in 2026 already.
Yeah, that's awesome, because we're only in September. So it's great to see those events already piling in, and it kind of helps you plan your next year. Yeah. So up next is the Rocky Mountain Race Weekend event. Obviously, Matt Frost will be on here shortly to talk about that event, but that starts here in 2 days. So that's super exciting.
Super close. Hit the Drop the Hammer real quick.
Drop the Hammer. So Carl and the team are already at Farmington Dragway. They ran the route today, checking on route stops and road conditions. He says they are ready for the weekend. So another huge event going on. This is their second event and their first event to be outside of Michigan, which is going to be super cool for those guys.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one right here. I'm excited to see these two events go on at the same time, and we're going to talk to Matt in a minute. And I'm pumped about race weekend and him getting into the weekend event. Oh man, Outlaw Armageddon is the next event that's up, and it's actually the next weekend. But I forgot to put the thing in there because we're going to talk about it during the JWire Solutions segment. But next weekend, the routes have been posted. We're going to show you guys all those here in just a few minutes in the JWire segment.
And then the next event that you are going to be at, which seems like it's going to be coming up real soon, Hot Rod Drag Week, September 14th through 19th, the 20th anniversary of Hot Rod Drag Week. It's going to be great. Unfortunately, I will not be there, but you will have the one and only Tim Gurley with you, who is an excellent photographer. So no doubt that the photos are still going to be great. This is kicking off at Maryland International Raceway.
Wow. Yeah, I'm pumped about this. You see Danny Grubau's post who says, I only have 1,100 miles to drive, and I'm not even leaving until tomorrow morning at the earliest for race weekend. You're an animal, dude.
Are you going to sleep?
Yeah. No, he doesn't. He doesn't sleep. And Tim saying, yes, coming up fast. Dude, it's literally next weekend. We leave next Friday. So it's crazy to think that we're right here on the cusp of it. That's going to be a crazy 4,500 miles in 9 days, and that's a lot. That's a lot. And then Redwood Rally follows up that. So our 4,500 is just a drop in the bucket of what Jesse Fox is going to do, because that crazy animal of 3G video is driving from Drag Week in Maryland all the way to Medford Drag Strip for Redwood Rally on September 27th through 22nd through 27th. Out there on the West Coast. So he is making the cross country, the what do they call that? The gumball rally, the all this stuff to go all the way across the country in Benny the Volvo. So if you're not following 3G video, you need to be doing that right now. It's crazy, dude. That puts us at 50 events for the year.
Yeah, and we've got breaking news right here. Buckeye Skips. We are working on our 2026 event. It's looking like end of June, first week of July. So there you go. That'll be another one to put on the 2026 schedule.
Bring it on, man. I can't wait. Yeah, Tim, you ain't even get started yet. So Tim and I are doing Friday at Outlaw Armageddon at Tulsa Raceway Park. And then we are bombing just as fast and as far as we can on Saturday to get there, all the way from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Maryland International Raceway, with a stop in there to see our buddy Paul at BTR, and probably hit Mo Party, because we have some friends that are going to be there as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have a case of FOMO on this one. Obviously, Drag Week last year was awesome, but man, this year, June put a hurting on all the events for me. So
yeah, we've got to do some better planning on that one. That's a tough one, man.
For sure. What's up, Tom and Julie?
Howdy to those guys. And then Richard Brewer on the road, headed this way to me right now. Him and I are both working the Midwest Drag Race Series Funny Car Nationals this weekend.
Yep, the man with the drone right there. Killer shots.
Yeah, I can't wait. He's really leaning into some of that, and we are working on trying to get him some more, jobs within that, some more freelance stuff. So I'm excited to see where he takes that drone and goes, over the next year. And say, just entered Michigan. We'll bring it on, dude. I'm excited. There's an extra bed here in the hotel room whenever you're ready. All right. Thanks again to Driven for the work and the support and the being awesome as we move into the busy part of the season here, I guess is what we could call it. Well, J-Wire Solutions, who you guys saw in the comments earlier, expert car and marine wiring solutions you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, your race car, your drag and drive car, your boat, your sand rail, your dune buggy, whatever you got, they can do it. Your snowblower. Plus, they offer products to make your driving experience better, like the blinker module that is a must for all drag and drive cars. The module allows your car's rear turn signals to operate just like your stock daily driver, which means when you put your foot on the brake, typically in these universal wiring kits, your rear brake lights, your rear blinkers stop blinking. So, you need it when you get there. So got to do all that. Well, let's talk about this, because I see Matt is backstage here. So I want to go through the Outlaw Armageddon 10, the biggest no prep race in the country. This thing is absolutely crazy. There's like 200 cars signed up or something already. It's going to be insane. They are hosting the first ever drag and drive within this, run by Felicia and Aaron Smith, and I can't wait. They dropped the routes today, or yesterday. Today dropped the routes today, just in time. So I'll read the quote what Chris Dingman put up, and then we'll go over all that stuff. It says, Drag and Drive participants, here is your map for Thursday and Friday drive. We'll be heading east on Thursday and west on Friday. There'll be a lot of small towns and some cool scenery along the way, and several places to pull over and just chill or grab a bite to eat. He said, I'm going to try and hit Eskimo Joe's on the OSU campus on Friday for lunch. So make sure and share accordingly. And we're just a week away from Outlaw Armageddon 10. Big Mark Sorensen and the rest of the staff can't wait to see everybody. Dude, 190 miles on day one, 182 miles on day two.
Yeah, for a, what would be equivalent to a regional style event that's quite a bit.
That's a bunch, dude. That's a bunch. But I like the way they're doing it. They're kind of letting those drag and drive cars race in the morning during testing, and then they'll go make their big route. So they'll have basically all day and night. So. And then they'll come back Saturday in front of everybody on Saturday. Is going to be incredible. I mean, we're getting the amount of tickets sold for Tulsa Raceway Park right now. You can almost watch it by the second just go up. it's just ticker. So, and then class rules here. I don't know if you guys can see that. If you can't, jump on the Outlaw Armageddon page. But I wanted to show these trophies, man. These things are freaking awesome.
Tim said, "Are we joining on the drive part?"
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how Friday goes. We may just need to be present at the track on Friday for testing. So they've got two classes. They've got Outlaw, and then they've also got like a daily, or they got a DYO style class too. So that'll be kind of cool. And I'm telling you, Anthony Watson is signed up for the DYO, so you guys better get ready. He's a 14.0 killer, can go consistently all the time, anytime he's on the track. But there's several people within that, like Alexandria Garcia, our lady, the MF Queen out there, Eric Daniels of in the Durango that ran in 11.0, and then Ty Atkinson in the CTSV. All names we've known from Rocky Mountain Race Week. And then the Outlaw class has Chris Atkinson in that 8 or 9 second. I can't remember what he ran in the CTSV wagon. And then Derek Harris in the 17 Camaro, plus a ton more. I mean, that was just who I grabbed just right before we were starting this thing. So yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's exciting to see. Obviously, again, Outlaw Armageddon's been going on for a while. So kind of cool to see them jumping into and leaning into the drag and drive stuff, especially with, being in Oklahoma and Tulsa. Obviously, we know has hosted multiple drag and drive events this year. So pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. All right. Well, thanks again to Jay Wire. And Jay, if you're anywhere near US 131 this weekend, please come say hi. All right, sir. Lead us into some Molly stuff here.
All right. Attention racers and high performance enthusiasts, are you ready to start your next engine build? If so, there is no better time than right now to check out the Molly Motorsports all-in-one Power Pack piston kits. With over 1,200 applications, these kits come complete with pistons, rings, wristbands, and clips, all designed to work together. Molly Motorsports Power Pack piston kits take out all of the guesswork. So no more trying to determine if a piston will need this ring to work with a certain cylinder size. Molly Motorsports did all that engineering for you so you can get to the part that matters, which is building a power plant that leads you to victory lane. Visit mollymotorsports.com for more details. And for all of our podcast listeners, Molly is spelled M-A-H-L-E.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Well, let's talk to the man himself, Mr. Matt Frost. Come on in here, sir. Hang on. There we go. How about that? Nope. We got to make Matt big here. Hold on. How about that? There we go. Guys, if you don't know, Matt Frost is the man, Mr. Rocky Mountain Racing. Oh, I moved him back. Sorry. My fault there. Dude, tell us what's going on with you. What have you been up to? You getting ready for this event this weekend?
Yeah, after doing bazillion miles on my truck the last couple days. I think I put since Monday, I put 2,400 miles on. So trying to make up all that work I'm going to miss for the next 3 days, I guess. Yeah.
Jeez, that's crazy. Dude, I don't know what's going on. Why does it keep moving you back, Eric? I'm not touching anything. I promise. I'm not touching anything. All right. Well, we got race weekend coming up, dude. Tell us, man, how excited are you to do a 3-day event?
It's going to be pretty cool. After doing Mega Week, I thought, hey, let's do something that's a little bit more mellow. And it was kind of one of those deals where we wanted to make it where everybody that normally races or actually operates the event could race and do the drives and all that stuff. So Adam is going to be, running his car. We thought Chad was going to, but found out that later on in the year that LS Fest is the same weekend, so he has to go to announce that. But anybody that, even all my staff stuff, they're bringing their cars. We're going to get June's Nova out, and we're going to go drive the drives with it. It's not quite ready to go down the track yet, but we're going to do the drives. So it's going to be really cool. I just feel like it's more of a laid-back kind of atmosphere type situation. I kind of said it like today that it's more of a social gathering instead of I don't remember what I said. Something about social it's a social gathering instead of social media type situation. So it's going to kind of be back to the basics. What's really going to be cool is going up in the mountains again, getting back here. A lot of people are coming from a lot of different places. A lot of the guys coming from Canada are coming down, and it's pretty cool to see a bunch of guys coming from different states just to come do this 3-day event. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to to dive off into this because it is going to give you yourself more time to do that kind of fun stuff. The drives aren't going to be brutal, all that. So that should be good. And you're going to get to drive a cool car during it instead of driving the bus and stuff.
That's right. Just hang out with everybody and have fun. Our drives are the one's 125 miles and the other one's 145. And as we kind of left it as our normal format where we'll have 2 days of averages and then we'll have the shootout on Sunday. So you still get that heads up racing along with the average stuff. So I don't know. I think it's going to be different for us. Obviously we've never done this before, but we got a decent turnout, and I think, this might be something that I don't think we'll do a ton of them, but we might throw one of these in here and there once in a while just to kind of break it up a little bit.
Well, I love it. And I've been saying it for a long time. I'm excited for you to get into something like that and to get kind of, a big promoter, national level promoter coming in and doing a weekend event. I think you're going to love it. To be honest, I think you're going to get to Sunday afternoon and go, what do we do now?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be great. Well, tell us about the route. What are we going to be looking at, man?
Well, one of the cool features of this is we're actually going to do. We rented the Royal Gorge for the morning, and the cars actually get to drive across the bridge, which not very many people get to do that. So you get to drive across the bridge, go check it out on the other side, take pictures on the bridge with your cars, and then everybody that actually gets to go enter the park after they're done driving across the bridge and coming back, they get to spend as much time as they want in the park. And then after that, it'll be a lot of, curvy roads, and the trees have started to change. It's kind of weird because the trees and stuff have actually, everything's kind of changed. Like it used to start about now, you start seeing the trees change, and it seems like now it's more late September, early October. So climate changes or whatever you want to call it, but there'll still be some stuff changing out there, and just the cool air. That's the biggest thing, is it's going to be a really good, I think the high is supposed to be 80s, and it'll be really cool in the mornings. And obviously when you get up in the mountains, it even gets colder. It'll probably be like 60 to 65 degrees up there. So be way cool for the drives.
Yes. And just the scenery, you guys have been Tulsa, Oklahoma, Texas stuff the last little bit because you've had to. This will be kind of fun to be back at Pueblo Motorsports Park. I mean, it gives you a ton of opportunity for some great scenery.
Absolutely. And I mean, we don't have Bannermere right now, so Pueblo's kind of where we're at with it. But yeah, it gets everybody back here, and we'll see a little bit more of that. We'll get into that here in a minute, but we're going to see a little bit more of that coming back west.
Yeah, bring it on. I'm pumped about that too. Route stops other than Royal Gorge. What else you got planned?
The second day we're actually going to Bishop's Castle. I thought I was thinking we did both of them on the same day, but it's split up. So Bishop's Castle will be another checkpoint that we have. If you've never been to Bishop's Castle, it's a really cool place where a guy, basically his whole entire life, he built this castle by hand with other people's help. And it's kind of sketchy in a sense because some of the stuff, like it's welded with a flux core welder, and it's got all these different rocks that are, it's an amazing place. Like if you've never been there, you got to go there, but it's very sketchy and go in at your own risk. But we've had guys go all the way to the top, to the ball on the very top, which I think it's probably a couple 100 feet in the air. And they were up there shaking that ball. I'm like, you guys, you're nuts. Like there is no way. I got to a certain point. I'm like, I'm good. I can't go
This is enough for me. Yeah.
They're up there shaking that ball. So, but very, very cool deal. So.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, that's like a staple of Rocky Mountain. The Bishop's Castle is a cool deal, and I sadly have never been. I missed the day you guys stopped by there when I went out in 23, and I won't miss it next year. I promise. Good.
Yeah, you got to check that out. That's definitely and what's crazy is I've lived here my whole life, and I didn't know it was there until we went, and it's pretty amazing. If you come into Colorado, you got to go see that. That's just one of those things you got to go see.
Yeah, for sure.
Should have been on my list a couple weeks ago, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we went Pikes Peak, and that was pretty sketchy.
Oh, I bet. That's another place. What's crazy is I've never been up that. I need to go do that.
It was one of the scariest roads I've ever drove, but it was super cool. Like you're going up those curvy roads and you're above the clouds and there's no guardrails on the side, but like once you get up there, the views are incredible. It's only about 45 minutes to get all the way to the top as long as the weather is good.
Yeah,
Wow.
you're getting to that point where you're going to start seeing snow on the top of that thing here pretty soon.
There was when we were there, not a lot, but there definitely was. Yep.
Yeah, it'll change real fast up there too. That weather can go from nice to you're in a blizzard real fast up there.
Yeah. I think, Mike, when we click on anything, it's moving them.
Yep, that's what I was like, oh, hey, that's so weird. It doesn't do that very often, but I guess when it does. Okay, well, comments at the end. That's what we'll do for that.
Right. What classes are you going to have for race weekend?
Same as we always do. It'll be every class, all of our index classes. We're doing the pickup, the bikes, junior street. You got stick shift class, you got gasser, you got hot rod, unlimited, 850, rowdy radial, unlimited, and ultimate radial. I think that's almost all of it.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mark Cooling here in the comments saying, what is the time window for the bridge crossing?
We'll talk about that in the drivers meeting, but it's basically from 7. It's a narrow time. We have it from 7:30 to 9. And we'll have to split it into 3 groups as they're going across, because their ranger will take one group across at a time and then bring them back. So we don't get a lot of time on there, but I think the little bit of time we have on there is going to be pretty cool. That, like I said, not very many people get to do that. So yeah, so we got to be there at 7:30 in the morning, and then we got to be back out of there by 9:30 as far as going across the bridge. Anybody can stay there all day for the rest of the time.
Very cool.
That's too cool. That's cool, man. I can't wait. What that reminds me, what kind of time are you when will you be racing?
It'll be Friday and Saturday will be 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then Saturday it'll be Sunday, I'm sorry. Sunday we'll start the shootout at 3. I don't see it going anywhere past 7 o'clock. The shootout will probably be pretty quick, so I think we'll be wrapped up with it by about 7.
That's awesome. So about the normal stuff, man. I love that you race at night. It just allows so many more people to come out.
Absolutely. And just that atmosphere of being out there in the evening. And well, that's one thing that's really good about Pueblo is their amazing sunsets, and we get to see it from where you're racing with the sunset right there in the backdrop. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's going to make for some incredible photos and videos.
Yeah, I was going to say a photographer's dream right there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, like I said, dude, I'm so excited for you to do this. Coming into like a weekend event like this is a big deal for like a big national event promoter to bring your level of clout and pull that you have in the community over to something that's a 3-day deal. I'm telling you, by the end of Sunday, you're going to be like, where do we go tomorrow? this is going to feel weird.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
That's exactly right. Well, let's move into some 2026 stuff, because you posted dates the other day. This is awesome. June 5th through 12th. And tell us where we're going.
Great Bend. I mean, we'll start and stop in Great Bend. We've been waiting for that to happen for a while. It's been down for several years because of the track condition. If you don't know, they had this track completely redone, and it's like a state of the art track. I mean, it's amazing, but there was some problems with the surface. They ended up shutting it down. It's been down for a couple of years, which really threw a wrench in our system, because between them and Bandimere shutting down, that gives us no way to make the loop for the Rocky Mountain Race Week series. So we've had to go other places, Tulsa and basically your Midwest area. And now we're back. So we'll start at Great Bend. We'll get to go back to Kearney, which we love the guys. Kearney's a great track, awesome place to race, great people over there with Joe. And then from there, we'll basically make the big trek back. You get a drive day to come back here. We'll have to bypass Bandimere because there is none at this point, but we'll come in on the north side of the state and actually go up through the mountains on the drive day, and then trek kind of across the top of the mountains back over to Pueblo, and then we'll race in Pueblo, and then the next day we'll go back up into the mountains. So you get 2 days of traveling through the mountains, and then they'll come back, they'll race, and then we'll have another drive day from there back to Great Bend to final it out with a shootout. And we're super excited about being back. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. This is definitely one on the list for sure for for next year.
And for the foreseeable future, that's where 1.0 or Rocky Mountain Race Week, whichever you want to call it, that's where it'll be. And we're really anticipating that by 2027, Vandermeer will be back in business. It's kind of, we haven't seen any movement or heard anything lately. That they do have some property, which is actually probably 10 minutes from my house. To make it a lot easier for us, it'll make it easier for travel. I mean, you're going to miss the mountains of being on the side of the mountain, but as far as the traveling side of it, to go and come from the track, it'll be way better. It takes a lot to get there now because of just the growth here in Colorado. If you want to race on a Friday now, you pretty much have to leave Friday morning to get to the track to be there, because if you try to do it like you used to, where you got off work and ran up there's no way. So the way that the location is now, it's going to help everybody out. And I think the other part of that too is it's going to move them into a position where they're not going to have as much weather. The mountain was great, but it always had weather come across there in the evenings, and it really messed with the racing a lot.
Interesting. I didn't think about that, but yeah, that would definitely have some struggles there. And this new place that they're doing is going to be incredible. I mean, they're like hundreds of acres, and just they have a full plan for the entire area around it. So
absolutely. I mean, there's all kinds of different things, basically a motorsports park. And if anybody is going to have the highest state-of-the-art facility that you could possibly have, it will be them. I mean, we've already seen kind of what Flying H did with their scoreboard and how it shows the increments and all that, and just how amazing that is. I can only imagine what Vandermeer will do with that kind of technology and some of the other stuff. They did the heating and cooling system at the old track. I think that they're just, I really look forward to seeing what they do with the technology that we have today.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And those guys are literally on the front edge of all that. A lot of the equipment everybody uses now was, developed by those guys.
Absolutely. The rotator, the tire rotator and all that stuff. What's really cool is if anybody ever really pays attention to those, the rotator, it actually has a Mark Williams third member on the top of it. The axles come out of the drive, the slick. So if you ever nobody ever really looks at that kind of stuff, but when you're like, holy crap, that thing has got a Mark Williams freaking third member, and it's like one of the aluminum carrier type ones, or the housing with a third member. You're like, that's some serious stuff right there. But yeah, those guys do an amazing job at all innovating the stuff that they do, and their stuff is all over not even just the country, but it's all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Larry and
they don't mess around. Well, dude, I'm really excited. This weekend, I think, is going to be really cool. The number of people that you have coming from all over the country. I mean, we saw him in here. Josh Rich is coming. I think he's Missouri or Kansas or something like that. I mean, you got folks from everywhere, and I think that's just proof of what you've done. 10 years now, you've hosted more than 3,000 people in Dragon Drives, and now everybody's just wanting to do whatever they can to come out and race a Rocky Mountain event. So you've done a great job, man.
Well, we appreciate it, and we appreciate the support of everybody that does come. I mean, that's a big commitment to come all the way from Florida and any of these states to come out and do this. And the guys from Canada and all them coming down, like, that's a big commitment to come down for a 3-day deal. It's pretty humbling too on the other side of that, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what are you most excited about?
Man, it's just, I don't even know how to explain it, but just how it's going to be laid back and just be able to spend some time with everybody. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to spend out on be out on the drives and hanging out with, the guys, and actually things get so busy for me when we're doing these events. I try to get out there and see as many people as I can, but I don't really get to spend any time with people. So I think this event's going to allow that to happen. I can, I think we'll be able to just chill out a little bit and just hang out with the people. And, we'll still see some 200-mile-an-hour passes. I mean, I know that Jason Hurley's working hard to get his car done. Trevor Brandon, his car is always fast. So we're going to still see some fast stuff too. And the air is going to be really good. So I think that's really going to help with some ETs. But just to kind of just be out there with everybody. I was going to have my own car and actually run the Hulk at this. I'm kind of bummed out that we ran into some difficulties with that car, but we're going to do some revamp on it over the winter time. And I'm going to have a lot more of a drag and drive friendly car when we come out the other side. But that was kind of my idea. But to get June's car out and just be able to go cruise that thing's a 5-speed car. So getting to run it through the mountains and doing all that. And she might not drive it because she says that I make her nervous when I ride with her. So I might have to drive, but that thing's got it's got a crazy transmission there. It's got the TKX that's face plated and all this stuff, so it bangs in gear, when you shift it and stuff like that. So, she said that I told her that it bangs more than when she drives it than when I do. So now she's all stressed out when she's driving it.
Nice.
I think, what do you want? I don't know what to tell you. So
that's awesome. Yeah, and dude, 125 miles, man, that's going to be nothing for you. It's going to be great.
Yeah, we'd be able to do that in our sleep and come back and have all kinds of extra time for activity for sure.
Yeah, and again, the night racing, man, that's where it's at, dude. People don't understand that haven't done it yet, but it's really incredible to be there and because again, as time goes, the track gets better, the air gets better, everything usually gets better. Yeah,
you're not in the hunt of trying to hurry up and get it done first thing in the morning, and then you just don't have any time left. I mean, it's the exact opposite. You got to get that first pass in, and when you first get there in the heat and get that knocked out, so you got that slip in your hand. And then if you just stay every hour, the track gets better and better. And you watch the guys there that stay all the way towards the end of the night, and they're just freaking ripping out there. It's amazing.
Yep, and it allows for a lot more fans. I feel like a lot more people are going to come out and spend some time there, dude. Yeah, I don't know what haven't we talked about yet,
Eric.
I think we've got most of it. And I don't know. Hot dog machine going to be there?
The dog machine's going to be there. Water will be there. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. We're going to have a couple of food trucks are going to be there. So, yeah, I think it's just going to be pretty cool. You're not going to see a whole lot of it on the social media side of it unless the racers post it on there. I think James is going to try to do a live feed. He didn't confirm that, but he was trying to figure out if he could put that together so they could kind of see how they would do with a live feed. So hopefully that happens, but otherwise you're just going to see bits and pieces of it. This is it's just kind of old school. I said today, I said, pretend like you're an 80s kid where we don't have all the technology and stuff. We're just out there enjoying what we're doing and just having fun. And I think that's exciting for me too, is just to get back to the basics, go out there and we're out there just doing it.
Yeah. Well, and one thing we talk about on the promotion side of stuff is the live stream stuff lately has been so good that do you need to go to the track to spectate? Dude, with this one, you'll have to. If you want to see the stuff, you're going to have to go spectate, or you're going to be waiting on it to drop, from all the folks that will be there.
Yeah, I think, and you're right. We've talked about that, and it definitely, what people don't understand is, it is easy to just turn it on the TV and watch it. But if you're within an area where you can get to a track and go, you don't even understand how much that ticket that they could, to come in that gate, what that does for an event like ours to keep it going. And then you just don't get that feel. One thing that's crazy about what we're doing this time that we don't normally do is we're allowing trailers in. You're going to basically, I kind of got this off of King of the Open Road. I know that they do it where you can work out of your trailer. You don't have to put it in impound. And that's kind of what we're going to do because this is laid back. But what I can tell you, even that in itself bothers me a little bit, because even when we were at Havlic's Fastest Streetcar Shootout, okay, we're working on the car the entire weekend, and I don't feel like we ever got out of our pit spot. And I thought to myself while I was driving home, I'm like, what a difference that is from what we normally do. Because you got walls up, basically. There's walls there. Like, you don't get to visit. When there's no trailers in the way or whatever, your guys, the other people's cars right next to yours, on both sides of you, and front and back and whatever. And just the difference in what that does to get the communication between everybody and the camaraderie is amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was so hot. We definitely needed a trailer and to get out from the sun. And sometimes that's where we're at with race week too. But just the difference of not having that camaraderie is huge. And you can see that. And I think that's the same thing that's going on with these live feeds. You're not getting there. You're not feeling the thunder of the cars and, the smells and everything else, and people are missing out on that. And then it also gets to the point with that too, is if you're out there just watching it in the garage and you're not going, generally you're going to take your friends or your family or kids or whatever. And if you really pay attention to what's going on, we need a lot more kids to be involved in this. So stop watching it on a live feed, drag your friends in, drag your family in, go grab somebody that's never been to a drag race before and bring them to one of these events, because I don't think everybody really understands how important that is.
Yeah, and you can just walk through the pits and actually see these cars. Like, instead of just watching them on the TV, you can walk up, you can You can look inside the car. You can look under the hood. You can talk to the driver. Like, it's a touchy subject because, like, yeah, I'm at home. I can't be there. I would like to watch it, but at the same time, I get like being there is totally different. And if you're able to, you should go because, again, you're not going to get those experiences to see the car in person. It's going to look different than it does on a screen when you see it in person. You're going to get to talk to the driver. You're going to get to hear stories about, how they've had that car since they were 18 and all the iterations that they've done to it. You're going to get those stories out of that racer that you're never going to see on the live stream.
Yep. And most every track, every spectator every spectator ticket is a pit pass. Almost everywhere you go, that's the case. Unless, and even in the bigger events, you may not be able to get up close and personal with some of the big racers because they've got it cordoned off or whatever. But you're still right there in the thick of it. So if you've never been to a drag race, you have to understand that you get to be up close and personal with everything, especially drag and drive stuff. You're really close and personal with them because their clothes and their bags are all shipped out there. All their freaking car parts are out there. Like, it's spread out. You get to see actually every part of everything that they have going on is all out there for you to see when you walk up there.
Right.
Well, and I do think, the cars only in the pits it makes it a lot more welcoming, I would say, for racers or for spectators, because they're looking out and it's not like you're going in someone's area, like if you have a couple trailers there side by side, then yeah, it does become a little bit tight, and awnings and stuff like that. Like, they may be a little intimidated.
They intimidated and they hesitate to walk in. I mean, I see somebody's interest and I'm like, hey, walk around the car, check it out. You don't got to be scared to come into our pits. It's even like people, hey, I mean, it's respectful and I appreciate it, but hey, can we take pictures? Yeah, take as many pictures as you want. You want your kid to sit in the car, come over here and open the door and get them in there. Like, you're right. That's the difference between that is when it's all open like that, you feel a little more comfortable going and looking at stuff. And a lot of the time when we're into the big events, you can definitely see that intimidation factor. You got to coach people to come in there and check it out because I get it. A lot of people are nervous and maybe there are some people that aren't welcoming, but that's usually only if they're thrashing or doing whatever. Most of the time, everybody that I've ever been around, they're pretty cool about letting people come and hang out. So,
yeah.
Well, and the one thing that's great about being able to utilize your trailer during the weekend is you're going to end up with a ton of people camping. So, the 11:30, midnight, 1 a.m. type stuff, there's going to be a lot more people mingling around. There's going to be some fires. It's going to give you an opportunity to really go out and meet those people that are in the other pits that are, hanging out and talking and stuff. So, more race car friends.
Yeah, they're not packing up and going to the hotel right away because they got options. They'll hang out there. Some of them probably weren't intending to stay at their trailer, and they'll probably end up being there.
Yep. I've lived that life before too. Matt, dude, thanks a bunch for coming on tonight, man. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you guys are busy and getting ready for an event this weekend. I mean, guys, if you haven't picked up, Matt runs the Rocky Mountain Race Weekend event, Pueblo Motorsports Park, going to be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday this weekend, and just go out there, man. Get out there and hang out.
Yep, come check it out. Come see us. There's gonna be a lot of cool cars there, and get in on that. If you don't want to spend the money for the whole 3-day deal, you get the package deal of your family for Road Week, and you can actually go do everything the racers do. That's one thing that we invented that. Whether anybody wants to say different or not, we invented Road Week, which gives you a value pack for your family, and your family can go along with you. They just can't go down the track. And actually, with Race Week, we've made it to where when we're on a slow time, we'll even get you road weekers down the track. We've had many times we've had people who've never been down the track go sign up for Road Week and go make a pass down the track, which is so cool.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I do love the Road Week aspect, and there's a lot. I mean, almost every other event offers something similar to that now.
Sure. Well, it's good. It's a good thing for everybody. Just like we talked, we got to keep pushing forward and keeping people involved in the sport so it stays together, because we definitely need those younger people involved and get them there, get them to the track so they can smell that and feel it, because once they do, they're usually ruined.
That's right. Exactly right. Well, last thing real quick, Jonathan Stonecipher says, you come to our pit, you may never leave. That is right on the money. All right, man. Thanks so much, buddy. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Dude, have fun, man. I love that guy. He is awesome. And, Rocky Mountain Race Week holds a special place in my heart for sure. That's what kicked this entire thing off back in 2020. So yeah, a lot of guys in here making comments about it. I'm really excited about them hosting an event like that this weekend. I'm telling you, it's just going to change the way he thinks about stuff. He says, maybe something they sprinkle in. I really think it'll be something that becomes normal for the Rocky Mountain Race Week family.
Yeah, I was definitely looking at 2026 and how far Great Bend is from me, and that might be a flight there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that may be an airplane ride.
That's about 11.5-hour drive.
That's tough on a weekend deal, So you start looking at weekend events, and we had a lot of people make that kind of drive to get here for the circuit, or get to Tulsa for the circuit. And dude, you start figuring it up, like that's another 2 days. Now you're at 5 days worth of getting an event done, but that is better than 9,
yes.
Or better than 7. So that just provides a lot of people with a lot of opportunity to do more events. And we appreciate that. And again, the Rocky Mountain Race Week family is amazing. All right. Well, let's keep this thing rolling here, move into the next little bit. Again, I want to say thanks to Molly and their support of the program here. Without those guys, man, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. And thanks again to Matt for coming on tonight and talking.
Yeah. I did look up that Royal Gorge. And if people haven't seen that, look that up and see what that is. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable driving across that thing, to be honest. Holy cow.
Yeah, that bridge is really tall, really way up there.
Yes. Yeah, awesome.
That's right. All right, man. Well, tell us about some race car friends.
Yeah, appreciate everybody in here so far tonight. We're about halfway through the show, and we've got Tommy and Jim from Summit coming up, which is going to be awesome. So, again, stick in here, guys. Make sure you guys are liking this, sharing it out for everybody else. But appreciate everybody that has been making comments so far. Thank you, guys. You guys are our race car friends. You guys are what keep us going, editing photos when I'm getting sick of it, because, yes, that does happen. And I get that comment about somebody wanting to buy a photo or loving a photo. That obviously keeps me going a little bit longer. So appreciate all of you guys. And again, our sponsors. We can't do all of this that we do today without these guys on your screen right now. Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO, Performa-Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. Again, if you guys are looking to get any parts for your vehicle, please take a look at these guys and support those who support us.
For sure. Sorry, I was sharing the live stream here into the Drag Drive Repeat Race Car Friends group. All right, well, let's talk about some Deechworks stuff, and then we'll bring in the guys. Deechworks is the leading manufacturer of high-performance fuel system components. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, pumps, modules, rails, regulators, filters, lines and fittings, surge tanks, everything engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to 3,000 horsepower. Since its founding, Deechworks has been committed to delivering quality, innovation, and precision to the automotive performance industry. Every DW product is built to maximize reliability and efficiency, ensuring optimal fueling solutions for racers, tuners, and performance enthusiasts worldwide. As you can find it at deechworks.com, which you can see spelled out there on the screen. And make sure you type in code DDR10 for that 10% discount on your entire order. They've got merch. They've got any kind of injector or anything you heard me just list, they've got it. So we appreciate those guys being a part of this, and look forward to seeing them when we make our way back to Oklahoma City with the Circuit 2026.
This has completely nothing to do with our show, but every time I see you on the screen with your hotel background, you look like you're about to be in some kind of crazy documentary. Just throwing that out there right now.
There's going to be some really good TikTok videos come from this. Maybe that's what I need to do all night tonight, is just record stuff. That deep TikTok 35-second documentary voice.
There you go.
All right. Well, let's talk to these guys here. Nope. Hold on. Got to get it set back up. Mr. Tommy Dupree underneath me here, and Mr. Jim Greenleaf on the other side over there. I cannot bend my arm.
Cannot hear you guys.
Uh-oh. Can't hear us. That's not good. Well, we'll let him work through that. Interesting. Tommy, can you hear us?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's set up. He's good. Well, if you guys don't know, these guys are awesome and some of our favorite folks from Summit Racing Equipment. We'll put them up top here. That's probably the easiest. Jim, have you got us now? Nope, not yet. I would say not yet. Well, probably the easiest way to do this is to maybe have Tommy introduce himself first and kind of tell us, dude, who you are, what you do, all that kind of fun stuff.
So while Jim is phoning with equipment there and trying to get in, so we represent most of the motorsports department within Summit Racing. There he is. So anytime you see the brand at any motorsports event, whether it be a drag and drive, one of the sanctioning bodies event, car shows, signage at tracks, anything like that, anything away from the campus, one of our campuses, we basically do that. Jim is a motorsports manager. I'm the supervisor. I've worked for him for 15 years this year, man, and we've come a long way. When he and I first started, I think we had 7 events on our docket a year. And this year we will be at 51 by the time PRI gets here. So together we've grown the program quite a bit, something we're very proud of. And being involved in drag and drive is a huge thing for us as well. That's something that's grown exponentially in the last 5 years, just since he and I started doing it. And as most people can see, we put more and more effort into it and being involved with more and more drag and drives.
Yeah, it's incredible the amount of work that you guys, not just during the event, but like the lead up to that. I can't imagine the prep of the track. Can Eric see if he can hear you?
Can you hear me, Jim?
I can hear Tommy, but nobody else.
Oh, that's even weirder.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. I love it when things like this happen. Tommy, why don't you ask him what he does and all the stuff for him? We may have to mediate through you, sir.
All right, so I'm going to interpret since you can hear me. They would like to know what you do actually for Summit Racing.
Apparently you can hear me. Well, let me log off and try to come back in. Something's goofy here.
Okay.
Cool. Well, man, listen, you guys are some of our favorite folks, and not just, obviously you're a big part of our program here at Drag Drive Repeat, but also like just you're a ton of fun, dude. It's awesome seeing you guys and hanging out. There's some photos we're going to go through here in just a minute, but I want him on when we go through those.
Okay.
The coolest thing, you and I met, I think, maybe it was me and Jim at Midwest Drag 2022 or something like that, maybe. How about now, sir? Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. All good.
Awesome. Cool. I don't know. That's the way it goes sometimes. Well, I was just telling about how much fun you guys are and how we had met at an event in 2022, and it's really been just a blast since then. You guys talk, Tommy and I talk pretty regular every few weeks. Jim is kind of a big deal. He's pretty busy, so he doesn't have to hear me as much. But we were just asking Jim kind of what you do for with Summit.
And that's somebody asked me that the other day, and that's a lot going on there. Try to put it in words, but obviously, I think Tommy might have mentioned sanctioning bodies, things like that. Obviously, from the drag race side, we got a lot going on in the dirt car world. Obviously, show cars. We've got stuff with good guys. We're branching out some new stuff. Events like Texas 2K and Hyperfest and some stuff like that. So as we're getting into some new events like that as we move forward into this next year. But the truck and stuff that we put on the road in the last couple of years is probably something that Tommy and I are most proud of. I don't think anything makes us happier than when we can help a racer who, might be done. You could be done for the week if we can't help them out. And I like to call the truck the MacGyver truck. We'll figure it out. We got duct tape and zip ties and hose clamps and whatever we need to get you keep it rolling until we can get you exactly what you need if we don't have it. But Tommy's done a great job of building up the inventory. So we're as soon as somebody walks away, we didn't have it. We're both pretty disappointed that we didn't have it.
Well, and the one thing that's cool, not just the truck, but then the other aspect of like you guys bringing in a whole team of people on the backside that are at locations ready to deploy parts and make sure, like there's guys that are there, guys and girls that are at the warehouses that are closest to the tracks that are ready to put parts in boxes and get them to us.
Yeah.
That's really cool and forward thinking for sure.
No, absolutely. If we're close enough, and we do the same thing, if we're close enough to the facility, we'll have somebody making the drive to our hotel each night or meet us in the morning or something. But if not, we've got folks lined up to get that stuff in a box and next date out and get it to them first thing next morning, whether it's at the next track, the next hotel, whatever we got to do. We definitely pride ourselves in trying to figure out how to make that work.
Right. They're telling the FedEx guy, hang on, man, we may need 4 more minutes.
Right. No, it's always one, before you send that order to send it, you look around, see everybody's running for the truck, and we joke, it never fails. As soon as you start to put the truck away, somebody comes up and needs something, so we're always there to get that last order in if needed, or dig something out for them. And sometimes it's, hey, take it and come back and pay us tomorrow. Let's just get you back on the road and we'll deal with the money later.
Yeah. All right. So we talked a little bit about what you guys do at Summit. What is it that you enjoy about Summit? Obviously, you guys talked a little bit about some of the stuff that you pride yourselves on, helping racers and that, but you show up to work every day. What is it that you really enjoy about everything Summit?
Well, I get to see Tommy every day. Come on.
Right.
I mean, what else?
Likewise.
Imagine you guys, No, I'm going on almost 30 years. I think Tommy's at 15 this year. We love the company. They're good to us. They're good to employees. Every day for us is something different. You almost don't know what you're walking into. You got your event you're planning for, but man, there's always some new opportunity. Something comes down the hallway, something to do. But just trying to keep up. We've got so much going on. Like Tommy did over 50 events, and that's with trucks and trailers. That doesn't include myself or John or somebody traveling to events to be there. And some of the other NHRA events and stuff like that. So just a lot going on, and always trying to keep it fresh and trying to figure out what we can do to help racers and our customers whenever we can. So it's a fun gig, that's for sure. It's a lot of work, but we enjoy it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Brian Hadlick, they're saying Summit has saved us many times, and that's a dude that knows 100%.
Yes, oh my God, I could tell you stories about Brian, and some of them make you laugh and some of them make Brian cry, but we try to do the best we can to help people out, for people like Brian, and I see the comments popping up here, and that's why we do what we do. It's a good thing. It's a good ambassador thing for our company. Yeah, we want to make some money. I'm not going to lie about that. Cover our expenses, make a little bit, but just helping a racer. And Jim and I are, we're fellow racers. We've done this our entire life, and to be able to help that guy, whether it be at a drag and drive, or I just spent the last week with Peter Biondo and his group at the Flings in Norwalk, and that's another 400 plus racers that we probably helped. I would say 45 or 50 keep their weekend going as well, and that's kind of what the truck is all about. That's what makes it important. I can tell you, and Jim can attest to this, that our president is all about this right now. He'll talk to anybody about it. He is very proud of that. He's very proud of what we developed, and he's all about it. He can't say enough good things about it when he talks to people. So it's something we're very proud of.
Well, and you should be. I mean, and not just the one truck, but the second truck. You don't have 2 trucks running the country.
Right.
Yeah, and that was kind of out of necessity. We have a semi, which we still have a complete race-ready semi. If anybody is interested, hit me up. We will make you a smoking deal. We made the decision to step out of the semi world because the coaches are much easier to deal with. We can have more employees involved. Basically, it's easier logistically for us to do things with. And, when we started with what we call Tex, the little coach, our plan was to keep that in Texas. That's why it's called Tex. We were going to fly down and grab it and go do some events. And the more and more we started using it, the more and more we saw how important it was all over the country. So we put the plan together to buy the second truck, and we keep both of them pretty dang busy all the time doing something. Matter of fact, next week the little truck Tex will be at NHRA bracket finals here in Ohio while we head to drag week with Buck, the big truck. So there's always something going on with them.
Man, that's cool.
And there's a lot of people involved behind the scenes too. This sounds easy to load up the truck, but it's, pulling the inventory, keeping things reconciled, and there's computer program behind it to make everything work right. This was no small feat to make this happen, and we thank everybody in the company that helped, that got behind it and helped make it happen. So
absolutely,
we're always massaging it to make it a little better, trying to make it a little easier for folks to kind of check out with us and get things done and get them on back on the road or back to the track. But thanks to everybody at the company that helped make this happen, and still making it happen. So
yeah. I can't imagine. I think Tommy and I've had that conversation about, what do you carry on the truck? Like how do you figure out what it is? And, you guys have talked about it. We've gone over it a few times, but there's a notepad. If it's not on the truck and it shows up more than a couple times, the next time you see that truck, it's probably on there.
Yep.
Super cool.
And it doesn't even have to be a couple times. I mean, we write down every missed sale, unless it's something crazy, one-off, a guy's got a whatever. But sometimes it's that, oh my God, how do we miss that? That definitely needs to be on there. And if we have a stock order coming, the next day or during the event, we'll get it added. It'll be on the truck during the event. That's how important it is to us.
Wow. Jack Weatherford here saying, greetings. The beast will be in the mountains. New Summit Racing engine for 6 Smokies, 400 small block using the Summit SPC block, and New Summit Racing pistons.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. When it's funny when we talk to you guys, like you guys are just car guys, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to really understand the level of awesomeness that you guys typically run around in, but there's always something going on at Summit. You guys always have some kind of cool, like the horsepower wars with Dragzine, the like all the stuff that's coming and doing all the stuff right now. Like I can't imagine what y'all's plate is like how many emails a day do you get?
Oh my God. Some of the stuff you're talking about, and we do have so much going on, Jim and I don't have a part of that. That's a whole nother, we may have some input or whatever, but that's a whole nother side of the marketing part of the business that sometimes we find out about it when you do. So, that's the cool part of this. There's so many players involved in trying to promote our company and spread the love. And there's a lot of people moving in the marketing side of Summit for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of projects with the influencer.
I can't imagine
things like that. So a lot like from internet marketing to our advertising department to work on all this stuff so that's what we do. So there's a lot of people involved in different departments that's fortunate for him and I are responsible for some of these other parts that we're happy to be a part of. Like Alex Taylor, things like that came through from an internet marketing partnership with the project. So obviously he's become a really good friend of Summit and an ambassador, and we're always rooting for her when she's out there. But that's the kind of things that start there, and they just continue to grow. So
yeah. Well, you guys kind of talked about the different segments and everything with the marketing and that. How many employees do you guys have in kind of your group?
I'm sorry, unfortunately, in our group, there's really 3 of us. I think you guys know Joy. There's 3 of us really in the motorsports department. We really, when it comes to getting folks out on the road to help us, we pull from the sales team at different sites to come out. So if we're doing something out on the West Coast, we'll pull folks from Reno and our Las Vegas staff to come out and do those events. And it's good for them to get out, come out and be face to face with the customers. They always have a good time. It's just like I said, a chance to get out and do something different. And but no, there's a lot of folks involved on the back end that come out and help us. Again, when it comes down to the main motorsports, there's 3 of us, and there's 4 sales guys now, a motorsport sales team that helped do a couple events.
Wow.
A couple of them are on their way to LS Fest for this weekend. And then Joy's on her way to Triple Crown. So yeah, there's a lot going on. A lot of moving pieces, but not a lot of people moving them.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a lot of the same. Well, and that's cool though. Like you think about it, somebody that is going to go to LS Fest is probably going to see that same person when they go to, insert event name here.
Right.
They're going to see those folks, and that's how you build those relationships, and you do all that fun stuff. I do want to show a picture real quick from Drag Week 2024. Big shout out to intern Chris, who came out with us and hung out and basically ran with me and Eric most of the week.
Yeah.
So we can't thank you enough for that.
Yeah, take that one off our hands. Take one for the team. Yeah, I think Alec and Kevin are in that picture. They are instrumental in, and they are not part of the motorsports, as a full time deal. They are instrumental in us being able to do what we do, because we could not get up and down the road without them. And we couldn't be racing, in a week and a half or whatever it is if they weren't able to come out and drive the truck and take care of customers, and they enjoy it as much as we do. And you're right, that familiarity with folks. You start to not only do you get to know them, but you start to make some friends. There's really special what this becomes when you almost feel like you're missing something when you're not there.
Right,
you are missing something.
Speaking of friendships, how much of a friendship was this with 3 people deep in the Trans Am or Firebird?
That was a lot, and Chris got the brunt of it, I guess, because he was crammed in the back seat of a third gen, or fourth gen. But it was a lot of fun. This picture here behind me was when we finished our first drag week, and there's a rocker arm hanging on the bottom of it, and I made a one for each of us because of that, and that was our biggest struggle. We had valve train issues. We fought it the entire time till probably the last drive day. And, but we came together as friends. We've always been friends, co-workers. That weekend or that week, we became really good friends, and you have to with something like that. And when you're forced into, and Jim can attest to this. When I work on my stuff here at the house in the shop, I'm by myself unless I really need help. Then I go drag my poor wife in to help me stab a transmission at 1 o'clock in the morning. But to have them and have the faith in them to jump in, and we've got the top of this thing ripped apart. That was something extra for me. But it built that trust level and the friendship, and that's what hooked us on this. That's what made us say, you know what, this is what I've been missing. I've drag raced my entire life, but I've never had as much fun as what I do at Dragon Drives.
Yeah, I'll agree 100%. I say it all the time, and you guys are tired of hearing me say it, but it's the best car community out there. I'm sure Autocross Week is a pretty close second. By the end of the week, those guys have pretty tight friendships, but it's the best, man. It's a group of people trying to get to the next track together,
And we're starting to see some of that roll over into Autocross Week, especially this year. The camaraderie's come around, the helping each other, the community is definitely developed more this year with that. And we worked hard for them to have some fun stops and cool things to see, like you do on one of your Dragon Drives. And they really enjoyed that. And we're working on 26 already. We kind of have a game plan of where we're going with that, and it's going to be even better. So yeah, we're pretty proud of that as well. We wanted to take that atmosphere into this. That's why we kind of came up with the idea to do it, because what other forms of motorsports can we do this with? And that one just made the most sense so far.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. The only rule I would like to see changed for Autocross Week is the tire rule. Those guys having to drive on those tires, man, I can't imagine that. That's crazy.
That's where the strategy comes in. It was definitely last year where maybe somebody doing it for the first time just went out and ripped it every lap, and was just drifting around. Man, they got to. And I think we had one this year. You get to the last day and there's cord showing You know,
Yeah.
that's part of the game. You know, you don't go out and use up your tires. You got to use some strategy there and make it work. So, no,
Yeah.
it's a pretty
Rovic
cool.
is out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Raj cannot participate. He would no.
I think we did have a
Autocross
trailer
workout.
burnout though. Zach with his S10.
Yes.
He
We did. I sent that to the guys, and that was pretty awesome. He was pretty
He's
proud
probably
of that.
the first official Autocross Week trailer burnout. That's for sure.
That's awesome. Autocross Week's definitely on my list of
Mhm.
things to do. I think that'd be cool especially if it's anywhere near the Midwest here. I definitely attend that. Speaking of,
Yeah. Well, who's working the Summit truck for Drag Week?
It'll be Alec and Kevin, our go-to guys. They, any events like this where it is such a challenge, I guess. We want somebody seasoned there. We want somebody who knows the truck. We want somebody that can handle no matter what situation comes up. You know, if getting a bind somewhere, they know our procedurally what we like and what needs to be done from the company standpoint. And Jim and I we stop by 2 or 3 times a day just to probably get a bottle of water, check, hey, what's going on? You guys okay? Other than that, we don't worry about it. Those guys are awesome.
Sometimes we need some parts.
What's
Sometimes
that?
we need a part, Tommy.
Well, yeah, we needed some last year, that's for sure. But yeah.
Our credit cards work too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, they don't give Summit cards to where you just like swipe that thing. You're like, hey,
No.
y'all got to buy parts like everybody else.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, we appreciate that because that saves us on the end. That saves us money for all those guys out there buying parts.
Right.
That saves us money.
So obviously you guys talked about 50 something events a year. What were a few of your favorite events that you guys attended this year?
Wow.
The last
one. Yeah. PRI. No. For me, I would have to say Texas 2K that's something you need to experience. If you're a car guy, that's a whole nother world. We did an event called Hyperfest at VIR this year. That was amazing. A whole nother different group of people, from drifting to actually on road course stuff. That was pretty wild. Any of the drag and drives, but and it's hard to follow Matt Frost. But that man, for we talk about small teams. Jim and I enjoy at Summit. That guy and what he gets done with his small team at the Rocky Mountain deal is pretty amazing. And that event was pretty killer. I enjoyed that immensely. Just even being there working, they did a great job. So I don't know that I have an exact favorite, but we see a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. What about you, Jim?
Yeah, I mean, Texas 2K really comes to the top of the list as we've gotten more involved and have gotten better at doing what we do when we're down there. That's just been it's just a whole different vibe. It's that influencer younger. I mean, there's 70 plus GTRs there and Lambos and Camaros and Corvettes, and it's just such a twin turbo. If you're not spinning 2 of them, you probably don't have a chance down there. I mean, it is just some of the craziest. I think we like it because the rules are open. You know what I mean? It really gives racers the opportunity to really get after stuff and be creative and show some ingenuity with some of that stuff. So it's always what just went by. So really cool. That's really cool. Obviously, and all the duck races. Those are crazy events with again more records, cars flying through the air. Unfortunately sometimes, but you just never. You got to keep your eyes on the track because you don't know what's going to happen next. So. And like Tom said, I get to comment. The Hyperfest is something that we tried this year, and again, a younger demographic there for us. The drifting, the NASA folks had 400 plus cars on the track racing around while we're on the inside doing different events, and they had an off-road course and all sorts of stuff going on. It's just another one of those cool atmospheres. There's a lot of camping going on. There's a big concert on Friday and Saturday night. Just that atmosphere that some of these promoters bring together to make it a whole weekend that make them special, I think. So, those, and again, but we love them all. We were at the Dirt Car Championships out in Fairbury, Illinois, a couple of weeks ago, and 50,000 to win for late model, and our modified guys were racing for a championship. It's honestly some of the best racing you'll ever watch if you ever get a chance to watch dirt racing. Especially if you get to stand in the infield and watch it, you don't even understand how they're getting around the turns without running into each other. So it's
again, crazy.
Like I said, it's kind of where was I last weekend that we enjoyed. So we enjoy all of them. We get to go to from Barrett Jackson in January. I mean, that's a spectacle. If you haven't been to Barrett Jackson, that's something you need to experience on that last Friday and Saturday for the big cars and things like that. And we've been fortunate to go to Bonneville. So that's another one that we're probably overdue to go again. It's been a few years, and if you haven't been there, that's something you've got to experience as an enthusiast. Somehow you got to get out there and experience that.
Yeah, that's one that's on the list for sure. I don't know about 26 for me, but I'm looking at 27 for sure for Bonneville. Yeah. That's man. That's going to be a good one.
We guys just listed a bunch of cool events. Next question: do you have openings for Mike and I? Because you guys get to do a lot of cool stuff.
You guys are cool as we are. Come on.
You ever need somebody to polish the wheels on the truck?
Well, that always, stop by anytime. That's open. Any
shoulder rubs. I'm in. I do want to say on that. Thank you. Tommy has let me ride in that truck a bunch. Well, really not ride. I sleep on the couch in the back. That's typically what happened. Is I would get back there, get to work, and be like, "I'm tired. I'm just going to lay down." So that's always been really cool to do. Eric knows I can sleep anywhere in any car at any time.
Yeah, accurate.
So I definitely appreciate that. Well, I'll tell you guys, y'all have one of the coolest jobs that's out there. I know I can't imagine the stress that comes from just the amount of stuff and the logistics side of trying to get everything there. And I think I would probably speak for everybody that's going to watch this in perpetuity that we appreciate what you guys do for all of the automotive community, not just the drag and drive folks.
Yeah, we're probably part of it, that's for sure.
All right. Well, let's end this. We've had good times talking about the summit and what y'all guys do there, but now I want to talk about some real drag and drive stories. So let us finish this DeechWorks segment here. I want to say thanks to DeechWorks again. Code DDR10 for 10% discount on your order. If you need any kind of fueling, they have it. Just call Mark Campbell at DeechWorks or get with us. We'll get you with him. So you can get your car set up and done up the way you need to. Mr. Eric, you want to read the Performer-Built Transmissions ad read there?
Yep. Performer-Built is the official transmission builder of Drag Drive Repeat. At Performer-Built Transmissions, the goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performer-Built doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That is why they say their transmissions are not just built, they are Performa-Built.
Yeah, love Ryan and the team again. We're going to get to hang out with them at Drag Week. They are about 15 minutes from Numidia Dragway, so I think that's Tuesday night that we'll be there. I'll have a full event breakdown and all that kind of stuff, probably live from their facility. But let's get back to this photo because this is fun to me right here. This one now, this car no longer is in Tommy's possession.
Correct.
On the back of this seat, it said you called him the Trunk Monkey Chris, and so he did that saying and his writing on the back of that did go with it. Did you tell the new owner all the stories?
It went with it, but no, I did not explain what it was to the new owner. If it's still there, that would be hilarious. The gentleman that bought the car, I tried to convert him to a drag and driver, and he may. He lives in the Connecticut area. He's been bracket racing it and been fairly successful with it. I've never tried to bracket race it. He tamed it down some and made it very repeatable. He calls me every once in a while, I guess, just to ask a question about something. And but no, I do miss that car. I wish I could have kept it in the stable, but I've only got so much room here. So
Yeah. Well, I think that's what happens to everybody. I did want to show this shot here, though, because it is a wheelie machine.
It was a lot of fun to drive, and it drove very well for no more than it was. We learned a lot at Drag Week 21, our first. Number one, that we needed an overdrive because 28-inch tall tires, 410 gears, and 65, 70 miles an hour is about 3,700 RPM. So I now have tinnitus, whatever you say it, and I guarantee it's from that trip. So,
yeah, a lot of people don't understand that, man. They don't get that at all.
That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about your Drag Week history and drag and drive. So obviously you've done Hot Rod Drag Week. Has there been any other events that you've done?
Yeah, so far I've competed in Drag Week, of course. I've done Six Summer on Bailey's side. Finally got to do one of his events this year in a borrowed car. We're working on something for 26 that the truck will be there. The S10. Yeah, there's the Panther. Alec Inhouse, the guy that drives the truck for us and works with Kevin. That's his road race car. He runs in a class here in Ohio called Spec Panther. That's the Panther platform. Any Crown Vics, LTD, police car type cars are what they run in. And he was gracious enough to let me borrow that car. I've done Midwest Drags. Jim and I actually won that one in 23 in our class. That was pretty special for us. And there's a local one here this year, Buckeye Skips. Skippy's going to do that one. I think it's in the middle of October, and I've already got an entry into that, and we'll see what else happens. But
that's awesome.
When we like we said earlier, 50 to 51 events, and I think I'm doing about 30 myself this year. It doesn't leave a lot of weekends open in prime race season. So, Jim and I went to my first Hot Rod Drag Week, I think in 2016, maybe something like that. It was at Norwalk, and we actually had our semi truck there. And because the partnership we have with Summit Motorsports Park, we can pretty much come to most events we want to and display and, do our thing. So we took the opportunity to do that. And I'd seen it in Hot Rod Magazine, never experienced it firsthand. And I was like, this is something I really want to do. Mm-hmm. So I started kind of thinking about what kind of car I wanted to do. I've always been an F-body guy. At one point in time, I owned 13 of them.
Wow.
So I found this car out of St. Louis and went and got it and started putting a plan together. Really about middle of 17, I guess. And with the intent, Jim and I had an entry into the 2020 event. And of course, we all know what happened there. Pushed it back to 21. So that was the first one we actually did. But that 2016 event, I have pictures from people that we're now good friends with. I have pictures of Bryant Goldstone's car. I have the picture. I think this was the first rendition of the late Harry Haig and the twin turbo Chevelle and Lutz was there with Mad Max and it was a very cool thing. But then even the entry level cars like what we do, they were still such a huge part of the event. That was the cool part to me. I'm not going to go build a Mad Max or a Bryant Goldstone type. God bless those guys for having the drive and the pocketbook to do that. And Jim and I just don't have the time to be that serious in anything. But in drag and drive, there's a spot for everybody, and that's what attracted me to it. And so we did the first one in 2021. We've been hooked. We've been involved with Drag Week in some shape, form, or fashion ever since. Tom Bailey, not far long after that. Some other smaller events, and then we hooked up with Matt Frost in June this year. We talked off and on about trying to do something with them for a couple of years, and it finally worked out this year. We were the live stream sponsor and actually took the truck to one of his events for the first time. And, it doesn't matter if you're doing drag week, or if you're doing Rocky Mountain, or if you're doing Bailey's event, it's the core group, the camaraderie, the community is the same in all of them, and that's a huge thing for us.
Well, and just being there, you know what I mean. The racing side of it. Now, over Jim's shoulder is a car that we look forward to some drag and drive in the future.
Good luck with that.
Man, it's so
there.
good looking. That color
there.
is great. That color is great.
It got about 50 miles on it this weekend. We're getting her out there. We're getting there is a hitch built for it. It was intended 2 years ago, I think. And it just did not come together. Did not come together, especially when we were close to home. When we're going to Summit Motorsports Park, or we were in Indianapolis, where it was an easy drive. It was actually had the entry. So we're not saying never, but we got to get some miles on it. I knew better than to take something that hadn't been on the road and think we were going to drive 1,000 miles on it that weekend, and even just still working out some bugs and some squeaks and stuff. But we're close. We're making some laps around the block and to the ice cream store or ice cream shop and stuff here from on the weekends. But finally getting it on the road and having some fun with it. So yep. So
you talk about the friendship that we developed from the first drag week. Myself and Chris, he must have knew I was going to talk about him. Intern Chris and I spent many a late night over in his shop right there working on that car. When we first started, it was pretty much a shell and lots of wiring and lots of plumbing, and we loved every minute of it. And the first time that car fired off, I think we all had tears in our eyes, and because it was a cool thing. He's owned that car since you were how old?
15.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's my first car. So
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if all the times were fun. There were some pretty frustrating nights we left here and it still hadn't started. We were trying to figure out what the hell was going on. So, but that first time she fires is, as everybody knows, that's the sound of music there. And it's like, finally, those guys were great. They really did hustle to try to get it ready for that year, but just didn't quite get it to the finish line. But we're on the road and we're having fun, and we get some miles on it, get it broke in, and then you never know where it might show up.
Yeah. Well, and that's one thing that's cool is like you guys have enough. There's enough events close to you guys. Both of you guys are in Ohio, and that makes it a little easier. There's a lot of events up there, not just drag and drive events, but events total. It's a huge automotive area, so it makes it a little nicer. Doesn't the store there, the warehouse, do like a monthly cruise night or something? I feel like I know the one in Texas does.
Texas does. The one in McDonough down in Georgia does a weekly deal. I think they might have one a month. They'll have a Camaro show, a Mustang show. They got a couple of specialty shows. I mean, unfortunately, sometimes we've started these shows. We used to do cruises every night or every Monday, and we outgrow them. It becomes an issue with traffic. The neighbors aren't always pleased with the. So we're good neighbors. We've tried to do things. We tried to do cars and coffee, and we blocked up the interstate and helicopters in the air, and they don't know what's going on a Sunday morning. And unfortunately, people just start parking wherever, and it's not good to start parking in the church parking lots on Sunday morning. We had some explaining.
What's across the street?
So we had some explaining to do on that one, and we've kind of learned our lesson that unfortunately some of those we just don't have the space, because I mean they're enthusiasts and we appreciate them wanting to be there, but like I said, we've got to be good neighbors to our local community. So we try to support
what a problem to have.
It sounds like, and then until you have it, and then it's
that is great. That's really cool, man. Well, I want to tell us some roadside stuff. Now, here's the thing. Eric and I have gone on several events, and we've done some roadside stuff. We had to fix a relay in the cart this year and all that kind of stuff. But, what's it like spending a week together in that level of stress, and then you go to work Monday? What's that like?
We talked about that first trip, and as much, I don't want to say as much as we had to work on. I mean, from changing rocker arms in the Circle K parking lot at 10 o'clock at night, and and again at the restaurant at lunch, and again, I don't remember where the third one was, to finally saying just change them all. You know, we were changing them like a NASCAR team. Tommy could hear the sound, and as soon as we knew that rocker broke, we knew what had happened. So, but you know, that year being our first and having those issues is probably the best one. I mean, when we got that hotel that last night, we thought we'd won the Super Bowl. We'd survived. We understood what it meant to survive. And, you know, we've had years, the year we won the championship, I don't think we had any issues. Like I hate to say, but it's not one of those memorable trips. You did the drive, other than it being 95 plus degrees and us going to Lowe's and buying, you know, 3-inch PVC tubing to get some airflow into that was wire tied and zip tied to the top, and the roof, you know, strapped down to the hood on the roof. But survival is a real thing, you know. Whether we've been through horrible torrential rain, you know, as the navigator, I have a whole different stress. My favorite trip is when we're following Raj or somebody else, and I can just say, follow him. But get out there on your own. Sometimes I have to remind Tommy which way is left and right.
I completely get dyslexic. He'll say turn right, and I am totally,
like,
I'll own that.
Your other
He
right.
does a great job of navigating. I just don't listen.
There's nothing worse than when you've been following somebody for 30 or 40 minutes and you've made a couple turns and you're like, and then they turn off into a gas station. You're like, oh my God, where are we at? Where are we at on this list right here? Oh no, we're in trouble.
Yeah, we've made some wrong turns and passed them. Like, why are they going that way? And we're going this way. Like, I think we need to turn around. So,
That's
I think one of the funniest roadside stories, and it wasn't anything tragic, but it was just Chris and I in 22, I think it was. That's the only year that I wasn't able to finish a drag and drive, and that's when we tore the rear end up so bad at Byron I couldn't get parts overnight. But Chris and I had the yeah, no doubt, Jay. Chris and I had the small brake fluid fire, and which roasted the entire wiring harness in the back of the car. I mean, from fuel pump wiring, tail lights, turn signals, every piece of wire in the back of the car was toasted. And we made it to the hotel, got up the next morning, camped out on O'Reilly's parking lot that morning in Indy, made a wiring harness. Chris walked 3 miles to get a flaring tool so I could make brake lines. Long story short, the only thing I couldn't get to work was the fuel gauge. So he and I are driving along somewhere in Illinois, and the car starts sputtering and just dies. And we're like, oh, crap, what's going on? So we're immediately checking our wiring harness we made and connections and this and that, cranking it. It won't fire. And so I turn the pump on, and it's just kind of lightly humming. And we look at each other and start laughing. We run out of gas. That's all it was. We had just run out of gas.
Love that. Man, and like, that's the worst feeling ever. And then you go, wait a minute, that was easy.
Yeah.
Now, where's that gas can? Oh, we left it at the gas station.
Yeah, Jim and I had the engine never run hot, but the passenger compartment was definitely hot in the S10 last year. And we kind of figured out it was too hot on some of the electronics because we weren't probably 50 miles in the first drive day at Drag Week last year, and the truck just lost all pedal. It's got a drive-by-wire throttle body, and it had gotten so hot that it just said, I'm done. So we're literally on the side of 6 or 8 lane highway.
Route 70.
Semi's not giving us any room whatsoever, and we're trying to figure out what's wrong with this thing and let it cool off, and finally figured out what had happened. And that's when all the pictures you'll see from last year Drag Week on the road, the hood is in the bed. The roadkill fix all saved us. So hopefully we kind of got that figured out this year. There's some new vents in the hood and air reliefs and stuff like that. So,
well, lead us into that. Tell us about this S10.
Well, you got to go back to the Firebird first to start the story. That car was an extremely low mileage car. When I sold it, it had under 5,000 original miles on it.
Oh, wow.
Everything that I did to the car, from roll cage, all that, nothing screwed up any of the interior. So somebody could cut the cage out, put new carpet in, and you never know it was there. It's got a lot of aftermarket suspension bolt-on pieces, but I didn't. Me being a competitor, the car was heavy for the class. I was like 3840, and we run the NA class, so there's really not much more I could do. Build a bigger motor or go lighter, and I wasn't going to start cutting that car up. So that's why the Firebird went away, and now we got the S10 that I am not emotionally attached to whatsoever. So whatever happens to it happens.
Hey, be nice to it. Be nice to it. We got a week in that thing.
It is. We have spent a lot of time and a lot of effort getting that thing better than what it was last year. We literally had that by the seat of our pants. I got the truck done maybe a month before drag week, and with the intent to take it over to Chuck and Rick at Big Three. They were going to do the tune on it, and anybody knows those guys, they had the hellacious fire and lost everything. So we just kind of, Alec and I put a tune in it, kind of went by the seat of our pants, and it did okay. It wasn't bad, but there's some stuff that we didn't know. I knew we went with Haltech, a new engine management system that really didn't have our feet wet yet. And, this thing still looks like that today. Cosmetically, other than putting the track spec vents in the hood, it hasn't changed a bit. Your decal is still on the hood.
Awesome.
It has new wheels. It's got new wheels and tires. That changed a little bit. But other than that, it's the same truck, just hopefully fixed. With my schedule and with the monstrous monsoon of a summer we've had here, I have not been to the track once this year.
Oh, wow.
So that's Friday. Jim and I and Alec and probably Kevin, we're going to, hopefully Chris, we're going to make a venture out to the local track here and try to make a few passes just to make sure it goes A to B. Drivability wise, it drives like my daily pickup. I mean, it's fantastic. It's so much better, but it feels a lot better. So hopefully all that goes to plan on Friday. And then if it's good, it's going in the box, and we're leaving next Saturday to head that way. So, I love the truck. I love how it drives. Believe it or not, it is easier to drive. It's smaller, I guess, lighter weight than what the Firebird was. It's definitely better cruising up down the highway because it is so much lighter. But I'll always love the Trans Am, and this 26, I hope maybe even over the winter we'll start doing some cosmetic stuff to it. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not emotionally attached to it. It's a lot of fun, and we'll see where it goes from there. But as long as it gets A to B and we can keep doing this, that's all we really care about.
No, man, I'm a big fan of the truck. I think it looks super cool.
So, Jim, which one from a co-pilot standpoint was more comfortable, the S10 or the Trans Am?
Everybody asked that, and they were both great. I can't complain. I mean, I really worried about my back from that from the Firebird, and I swear when we were done, I asked him if I could have the seat out of that thing because it was fantastic. It really was not any issues. And then he goes and buys this little truck, and I'm like, what the world? And then he tells me he's putting the rear seat out of a Honda Civic in it, or a Fiesta or something that he thought was going to be great, and it wasn't horrible. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it makes you sit up straight, which I think is obviously good. But they're both actually pretty fun. Knees in the dash every once in a while, but other than that, I can't complain about the ride. That's for sure. They may not, like I said, I was sad he sold the other one and the seat went with it. It was pretty cool.
I was going to say, you're a pretty tall guy, so I wasn't sure how crammed you would be in the S10.
It's no worse than anything else I drive. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Yep. For those who don't know, Jim is like 6'9", 6'10", somewhere in there.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, Chris doesn't like the S10 as much. He doesn't get to ride in cool cars anymore.
yeah.
That is a sticking point with me. I even considered during the off season of switching again to something else because I do miss that. Having somebody in the back seat, it would need to be something more escape friendly for the backseat person, because when he and I had a long conversation after we had the fire that came through the trap door and the Firebird, if he'd have been in the back, that's how he got out. He because the seats were the aluminum fixed seats, and we probably would have bent one of them to get him out the front, but there was no getting out of the back with that. So, that if I do another, something with a back seat, there'll be definitely a plan to get somebody out a little easier. Maybe not make the seats completely fixed.
I vote G-body wagon.
I think a wagon.
We have kicked around the wagon idea quite a bit, and that wouldn't be out of the ball game either.
Yeah, you may have to put some boost to it this time.
I'll let you and your brother do that.
There's nothing cooler though than seeing Chuck going down the road with Big Three, and there's 4 guys in that car, all with their headsets on and just cruising down through there. That's a pretty cool.
Yes.
We actually told him at Drag Week last year that when they come pulling into that Red's Diner or whatever it was, the 4 of them with the headsets on and the zoomies, I said, you guys should be wearing Viking helmets right now because it looks like a Viking warship.
Yes, that's exactly right. Or this one here, the Price's wagon, man, that's one of my favorites. Like 7,000 pounds loaded down when they cruise together. Yeah.
Yeah, Buckeye says a Pinto wagon.
Skippy, Matt, that's all small for me, Skippy. I don't know.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Six Summer. So you've had the Firebird, you've had the S10, then you get to jump in this Crown Vic. How different was driving that compared to your other cars?
We were completely spoiled. Chris and I, that I can tell you that when I turned up the return road to come back, before I had my helmet off, I had the AC back on. It was quite I would cannonball run that car.
Had leather seats too, right?
What's that?
Had leather seats in it too, right?
Oh yeah. No, this thing was Alec had it pimping, and I mean for a road race deal, it sucked as a drag car. I entered when I found out we weren't bringing the truck, I entered DYO. That thing had about a 7-second spread between what it really wanted to do. But he's got it set up for road race. The first and second gear got a huge gap between them, and the first pass I made, it didn't shift into second till about 700 feet down the track. I'm like, I'm going to scatter this thing. So I learned to feather the throttle a little bit to get it to go ahead and go in the next gear. And but as far as cruisability, we were completely spoiled. We on the way to Byron, we were probably running 90 miles an hour on the highway, just getting it. It was a cruiser, that's for sure.
Yeah, Jay here saying need to build a wagon down at 3,400 weight, lob 850 passes like it's nobody's business. 1,100 horsepower, I can get you guys set up.
If we do that, Jay, we will bring it to you. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's where it's at, man. I'm telling you, like the Rick Steinke 4-door, man, that whole thing just is super cool. Well, guys, as we wind down the show, what haven't we talked about yet? I guess we haven't talked about ET goals for Drag Week, like what class you're in, all that kind of stuff.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I really don't care. As long as we put it back in the box on Friday afternoon, I really don't care. I'm competitive by nature. If we get anywhere in the hunt for anything, okay, that's a bonus. But after last year, we just want to go have fun. That's what it's all about. We'll do the best we can at the track, and whatever the truck does, we'll know what it does hopefully Friday night and go from there. So I have no idea. I think it's going to be hopefully something 10-0 index, pretty easy. Might
That's
surpass
awesome.
them.
What
That's awesome. End up in the SME stuff. You think? Are you going to do in a small or all motor small block or?
Right now I'm entering an all motor small block. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
You and Jonathan Stonecipher, y'all get along.
Yep.
That's
right.
One of our goals that took us, I think, 3 years to accomplish was getting to a hotel before it was dark. It had literally become a joke, not even a joke. It was a goal we almost made it. Oh, the sun went down. I mean, we're half hour away. I mean, it literally took three events before we got to a hotel before dark. It was, it's pretty special that first time we got there and could actually have a real dinner and not something.
We even got in the pool at the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
that's what's up.
I think last year at Drag Week, didn't we get to the hotel before dark, and then we went and ate dinner, but then we stayed in the hotel till way dark?
Yeah, you can thank Graham for that one. So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he came out and was telling us all kinds of stories. But again, that's the fun of the event, hanging out, and we got all kinds of stories from him, from fixing wheel bearings on the side of the road, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing to see it's amazing to see what's going on in the parking lots at night. I mean, the work that's going on. What are they doing? I mean, there's LED lights out and all the tools are out. I'm like, what are you guys doing and what do you need, kind of deal. But it's it's all part of it. But yeah, the being at the hotel with the group is definitely another special part to the event.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's what's great about so many events now. You look at 50 events across the year. If 40% of those participants are new to the community and they get that camaraderie right out of the gate, like we are just growing. I'm telling you, one of the coolest communities that's out there. And like my next question for you guys was, is this a vacation for you guys? And I think that's what it ends up being for like racers that only go to the track, only do that. Now they kind of like your mentality. They can go there and have fun and enjoy it for the week for what it is.
It is our vacation because we're stupid.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you guys aren't stupid. I'm stupid. Eric is stupid.
It's a good time. We've explained this to our wives, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They don't understand. First, they think how much fun we've had, and then when we explain the fun was changing rocker arms at a Circle K parking lot at 10 o'clock, or getting into the hotel at 12:30 and back up at 6 a.m. They've agreed this isn't. They're good. They don't think there's something wrong with us, quite honestly.
Yeah, Melissa goes, and that's fun to you?
Right.
Yeah. Yes, it is, honey. We all listen. I want to say thanks for coming on tonight. I know you're two of the busiest guys that we know for sure, with travel and making sure you get, because outside of travel, you still got a regular job. I mean, you're talking about like having to get all of that done in that kind of time. So we appreciate everything you guys do for us here in the Drag and Drive community, but also in the automotive side of it too. We're big Summit fans outside of Drag and Drive too.
Thank you guys. Thanks for being a part of this.
We greatly appreciate it, and I appreciate you having us on tonight and everything you and Eric do and the whole community. It's I hate to keep using the term, it's a feel-good thing for us, but it gives us a great opportunity for face-to-face and actually developing a relationship with our customers and let them understand, hey, we are just car guys. We live it, eat it, breathe it, just like all of you do. So, it's important to us.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right, we're going to put you guys backstage. Stay with us for just a second. After we put you back there, I want to say bye and get a plan together to hang out while we're at Drag Week. But appreciate you guys. We're going to shut this thing down.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, Mr. Eric, lead us out, man.
What
a fun show. Oh, hey, hang on real quick. Just want to say thanks to Performer Built. Can't wait to hang out. I can't wait to see Ryan's shop. Dude, I'm going to hang out there for a couple hours. I don't know. I got to get those decals made up ASAP. We've got the Hot Rod Drag Week Race Car Friends decals made. Those are coming with me. 50 of those are coming. But yeah, I need to get some Performer Built ones put up. And then next week's show, I don't even know what we're going to cover, but it's all things Drag Week. Like we're going to literally talk about Drag Week. Speaking of that, I'll message Mike Galimi after this see if we can get him on to kind of give us some insight into Drag Week next week. And then, I mean, we'll cover like class records, which ones we think that can be broken. I mean, there's going to be this year records will fall. I almost will put money on it. Who's coming, what they're bringing, and all the kind of fun stuff. I mean, dude, this is going to be nuts. 20th anniversary of IROD Drag Week, the one that started it all. Like, it's going to be a crazy event. I know you're tired of me talking about it and you not getting to go, but it's going to be a ton of fun. So, all right, dude, get us out, man.
All right. Thank you again, everybody that's been in here. We had tons of comments. We had tons of people watching. Thank you to Matt for jumping on. Thank you to Tommy and Jim for jumping on. Thank you, all of our race car friends, for tuning in tonight. Appreciate each and every one of you. And again, these sponsors are what make all this possible. So when you guys are putting together parts lists for your vehicle, please check these people out and help them out. Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO, Performabuilt Transmission, Car Chains 3D, PowerTube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Jump. Again, thank you guys, and we will see you on the next episode.
Yep. See you guys.